Aloha and welcome to today's super duper mystery awesome class on music, the guitar, and how to put on a headset. Today we're going to talk about various flavors, textures, shapes, and colors to the major sound, major tonality, right? Thinking about our old major chord and things we can do with the old major chord, right? Or the major tonality or the major sound. So let's jump right into it. And off the bat, right, we're thinking in C, good old C major. And off the bat, you just got to ask yourself, can you play a C major triad, right? C, E, and G. There's a lot of ways to do it, right? Thinking in terms of adjacent strings, that kind of vibe, right? Thinking in terms of single string, that kind of vibe, right? Just playing C, E, and G here. Can you find ways to just play the major triad, right? If we're going to learn more of the flavors and potentials of the major sound, we got to be able to play good old C major. Oh, not C major 7, but just C major, right? So starting out with just that triad, the arpeggiation of the C major triad. Okay. Now from there, what shall we do? Well, let's just move sequentially. We're going to add a couple things. We're going to add the 2nd degree and the 6th degree. So in addition to the triad, that's giving us, put it all together. Perhaps you've heard of this scale. It's the C major pentatonic, the pentatonic scale. A wonderful sound. Using this sound all the time in rock and roll. Right, whole melodies in there. It's Amazing Grace, all in that set. And that's all in that C major pentatonic. A very important scale to get acquainted with. All over the neck, your pent-up tonics. And if you get acquainted with that, honestly, you're going to be able to play rock and roll. Right, that kind of sound. Right, okay, so let's keep going. Nothing too crazy so far. The major arpeggio, the major pentatonic scale. Next, why don't we just go ahead and do the major scale? Maybe you've heard of that scale before. It's of major importance, as they say. And, we started with 1, 3, 5, or the root, the 3rd, and the 5th, or the C, the E, and the G. Then we added the 2nd and the 6th, giving us the pentatonic. What 2 notes do we add to make it major? We add the F, or the 4th degree, and we add the 7th, or B, our tritone, right? And there's C major. Very important, right? Major importance. And this will help us learn all of the natural notes, right? All of the quote-unquote the white keys, but on the guitar, right? We're C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Very important. C, B, A, G, F, E, D, C, B, D, C. C, B, A, G, F, E, D, C. Trying to just play our major scale up and down. Maybe in groupings. Hopscotch. Major scale of major importance. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. Gotta do it. Now we'll go to what I like to sometimes call rock and roll major, which is Mixolydian, C Mixolydian. And all we have to do to turn C major into C Mixolydian is to flat the 7th degree. And lo and behold, we've got a Mixolydiano. That flat 7 does a lot. B flat. That kind of sound. 7 2 1, 7 2 1, yes. Okay, there's our Mixolydian. Very important one. This is used in the blues all the live long day. Okay, let's keep going. So that's Mixolydian. Let's throw out the mix, though, and just go Lydian, okay? As in 1, 2, 3, sharp 4, 5, 6, 7. So we've naturalized the 7, and we've sharped the 4, and that gives us the Lydian sound, very beautiful sound. All about that F sharp. A little octave higher here. That F sharp, right? Giving us... Whoopsie. It's easy to hang out in Lydian. It's a very overtonal scale. That F sharp is very bright, especially when you pair it with the B natural and the E. F sharp. Okay, so there's C Lydian, and we did C Mixolydian, right? Brief recap here. We did our triad. We did our major pentatonic. Wonderful. How's about the major scale? Did that. Then we did Mixolydian. That flat 7. Then we did Lydian, the sharp 4. And now we're going to mix the Mixolydian and the Lydian into what's commonly known as Lydian dominant. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, sharp 4, 5, 6, flat 7. Quite a different flavor, right? Lydian dominant, 1, 2, 3, sharp 4, 5, 6, flat 7. So you have an overtonal or a bright note, right? That sharp 4. And you have a reciprocal or a flat note, the flat 7. All right, so that's an interesting bridge to build. And think about this. What is the interval between F sharp and B flat? That's an interesting interval. 1,000,000 points if you can name what that interval is. What is F sharp to B flat? Anyway, that was Lydian dominant. Let's keep going. Let's try this one. I think this scale should be more commonly known, but it's not, and that's harmonic major, right? And all that is a major scale with a flat 6. Whoopsie daisies, push the wrong magic button there. That's, once again, that's a major scale with a flat 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, flat 6. So very majory, but as soon as you bring in that flat 6, you get your drama. And this also brings in our first augmented second, I believe, from the A flat to the B natural. That moment. right? So hearkening back to harmonic minor, of course, but we've got an E natural in this thing to brighten it up, right? Okay, that's once again 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, flat 6, 7. Wonderful set of tones, right? Okay, we're 10 minutes in. We've explored quite a few things: the triad, the major pentatonic, the major scale, Lydian, Lydian dominant, and now harmonic major. What's left to explore? Let's look at how we could call it Mixolydian flat 6, right? So in other words, that'd be C with an A flat, C, D, F, G, A flat, and a B flat. So the first 5 tones, nothing out of the ordinary, good old major scale. But then we go to flatland, flat 6, flat 7, bringing in the drama. You know, and just a couple things to think about, you know, regardless of the scale, right? Can you get acquainted with everything's relation to the tonic, right? And that's 1, flat 7, flat 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. More flavors to come. Let's try this one. We're going to stay with most of that, except we're going to flat the 2. Okay, so that's 1, flat 2, major third. And we'll keep the flat 6 and the flat 7. Alright, now we've got something unique going on. 1, 2, 3, 4. Get an augmented second from the second degree to the major third, D flat to E. 4, 5, flat 6. These half steps between the 5 and the flat 6, very juicy. Flat 7, and back to the 1. Love that flat 2. Drama, right? This would be the 5th mode of harmonic minor. Whether you know what that means or not is inconsequential in this moment, right? What's more consequential is knowing, you know, putting on a drone in C and just being able to play that set, being able to sing it. Play hopscotch with it. Right, once again, this is, I believe people call it Phrygian dominant. I mean, whatever you want to call it, right? I like to call it, I would call it Mixolydian flat 2, flat 6, right? Whatever you want to call it, as long as you know how it's put together. 1, flat 2, 3, 4, 5, flat 6, flat 7, 1. Does this even sound major anymore? It is major. It's major with a lot of tragedy and drama and deceit and danger. Okay. So what's next? What's left? That's like 7 or 8 scales we've talked about. Let's try the good old. Well, let's keep getting more and more outlandish, right? So that was a flat 2 in there, and nothing augmented, right? The major third, the 4th, the 5th, flat 6, flat 7. Let's go ahead and augment the 4th amidst all this. So that's 1, flat 2, 3, sharp 4, ya-da-da, do, ya-do-da-da. That's a vibe, right? 1, 2, 1, flat 2, 3, 4, 5. And let's keep the flat 6 and the flat 7. So now we have A lot of flat tones or reciprocal tones. Right, and that augmented fourth. Whoopsie daisies, that was incorrect. That sound. Right there. That's 1, 3, sharp 4, 5. That's hard to get. 1. Let's try that again. We'll go 1, 3, sharp 4, 5. That's just a Lydian sound, but if we can bring in the flat 2. Oopsie. Notice again, in this particular configuration of 1, flat 2, 3, sharp 4, 5, flat 6, you get this cluster around the 5th, the augmented 4th, and the flat 6 around the 5th. No one's answered me this yet. What is the interval of F sharp to A flat? For 1,000,000 points. What is that interval? Oh, that was major 7. I don't want to go major 7, but I could. We're doing flat 7. And as I've said before, if you're getting just introduced to a scale and trying to grok it, start on one string, right? That's 1, 2, 3. One more time. 1, flat 2, 3, sharp 4, 5, flat 6, flat 7, 1. Right, and here we're blending around that major triad. Some flat notes, some augmented notes, right? And some more flat notes. And you know, why is this drone in the air, right? Because we want to learn to experience and become acquainted with the sounds of those relationships to the tonic, right? What is the B flat to the tonic? You know what I'm saying? What's the flat 6? Oh my goodness. What's the G? It's chill. It's the G, and you chill on the G. Right? What notes aren't chill and what notes are chill? Right? What sits, what doesn't? Okay, how about this? How about 1, flat 2, sharp 4, 5, flat 6, major 7. There's a set. That's interesting. 1, flat 2, 3, sharp 4, 5, flat 6, major 7. This set has 2 augmented seconds in it. It has it from the D flat to the E. Let me put that up an octave. That's D flat and E. And where's that next augmented second? It's from the A flat to the B. Let's resolve. Notice how that can resolve, right? The A flat drops to the G. The B goes up to the C. What is that? Beautiful. Okay, and also notice that particular scale is quite a blending of flat tones and overtonal tones, flat tones and reciprocal tones, right? The flat 2, followed by the major 3rd, followed by the augmented 4th, right? 5th, flat down, flat 6, but then a very bright note on that major 7. That I just did for fun. And I can also feel myself wanting to lean into the minor tonality because I'm adding these flat notes, this flat 2, flat 6, right? But there's such a beautiful dialogue between a major triad and those more flat tones. It enriches major in a very cool way. It gives it some lifeblood as opposed to the potential staleness of our good friend C major. Nothing wrong with C major. It's a great sound, right? I like that sound. Oopsie. I gotta practice more, yeah. We all gotta practice more. Now that's quite a bit of scales, and I feel like I've covered quite an array, right? And you know, what's going on here, right, with these scales? Like, where am I getting them from? I mean, we could say, oh, this was the mode of that, and that's the mode of this, and la-da-da-da-da. But really, I'm just thinking about the 1, the 3, and the 5. Okay, the 1, the 3, and the 5, the major chord, right, the major triad. And then what can I do with the other pitches, right? There's 4 other pitches. The second degree, well, pardon me, yeah, 4 other pitches. The second degree, the 4th degree, the 6th degree, the 6th degree, and the 7th, right? That's what we've got. What can we do with those? We can do whatever we want with them. We can, well, depending, right? We can flat them. In some cases, we can sharp them. In other cases, and in more extreme cases, we can add what's called a chromatic pair, right? As in, I could have both the F and the F sharp if I'm feeling really wild, or I could have both the A flat and the A natural, right? As long as that major triad makes an appearance, we're in major tonality, certainly with a drone in the air or a bass player just going maybe a little higher up so you can hear me on your cheap speakers, right? All right, if a bass player's just in C, he's going, I'm bass man. He's the bass man, right? There's our bass man playing C. And if that's all you got, right, you don't have any more harmonic information shaping the thing, great. Well, hang with those sets of tones, right? How about major? Okay, major. Let's turn it into Mixolydian. Let's turn it into Lydian. You feel that longing? Oh, I long for you, baby. Yeah. Let's go Lydian dominant. That's like you're longing for her, and then she comes around, and you're like, I don't know, girl. There's our Lydian dominant. What about sort of a flat 2 thing? Flat 2 Mixolydian. You can do that, right? That's 1 flat 2, and then the rest is just as it is. In other words, it's very bright until you get to that flat 2. That's the flat 2. Yeah. How about Mixolydian flat 2, flat 6? I'm really starting to hear the shadowiness of that mode, the passion blood in. Still major though. That's the thing. I think with major we kind of maybe forget that it can be an impassioned, dramatic sound, right? It doesn't have to be happy. Is that what they call it? It's the happy sound. Am I happy right now? That's my major triad. I'm not happy. No, I'm an unhappy man. I'm sorry. So I gotta play these modes. And what's a mode? It's just a collection of pitches. It's a collection of tones. That's a mode. That's all. Okay, bass player, bye-bye for now. So those are some flavors of major tonality or different, essentially different sounds we can put over a major chord or a major vibe, right? And quite a bit there. Brief recap, we had our triad, we had our major pentatonic, we had major scale, we had Lydian, Or rather, before that we had Mixolydian, then Lydian, then Lydian dominant, then I believe, who knows, I think we did some Mixolydian with the flat 2, Mixolydian flat 2, flat 6. Ooh, what shall we do? How about Mixolydian flat 2, sharp 4, flat 6. Okay, let's try this. We're going to do major, or rather we'll do Lydian flat 2, flat 6. Right, so different flavors of major tonality. All of those, in theory, are going to work well, or potentially work, over a major chord, okay? So what to do? Well, maybe write down a little list of all of these scales. What else to do? You can like, you can share it, you can subscribe it, and you can clicketh the linketh beloweth if you wanteth to interacteth with me in the liveth, lessoneth, interactive learningeth reality of really learning this stuff, right? If you are interested in truly understanding harmonic theory and, more importantly, how it shows up on this instrument and how to use it to do cool things and rock and roll and make other people go, wow, sounds like they know what they're doing. If you're interested in that, you got to click that link, say what's up, and we can chat. Anyway, that was Flavors of Major. There's many more, but that's a good place to start, right? I'm going to go, but I'll see you later. Talk soon. Thanks for being here. Like, share, subscribe, click the bell, click some links, rock and roll, share it with your friends. Let them know that there's this man, Jakob Peck, on the internet. It helps me out. All right, I love you. I gotta go. Oh, I gotta go.